Yeah, we discussed about our containers, how containers will create objects in a lazy manner and eager, and what is singleton and prototype we see so far, right? And dependency injection of various data types using setter and constructor. I given only one constructor example, but you can apply that to all the different variable types. Okay, both are same, setter and constructor. But during constructor, we inject all the parameters in a single go that we already see, right? Now the advanced concept. I want to go to the advanced concept. Before going into the advanced concept, right? Today I want to spend little bit time on simple oops concept only. Okay. So as per Java runtime polymorphism, right? Java runtime polymorphism as per our oops concepts. Oops runtime polymorphism. We can have classes like this, right? We can have a class and parent class. We can have a parent class, and from parent class we can have some derived child classes. Child class we can have. We can extend using extends keyword or implements, right? What can be a parent? Parent can be an interface or parent can be a class. Extends or via implement. Extends or via implement. A child class can get a parent class in two ways. Either your parent class can be a concrete class or abstract class or a class, simple class or an interface. Your class can be a simple class or can be a interface, a concrete class or a interface. If it is a class, we will get this parent class properties via extend. If it is an interface, we will implement by using implement keyword. Implement keyword. We will implement it using implement keyword. Okay, so this rule or this principle is going to provide you lot of other benefits. Okay, lot of other benefits when you extend or when you implement, right? When you have a parent child classes relationship, using this principle, we are going to achieve so many advantages here in especially MVC application. What that advantage is, especially with the dependency injection. Okay, in general, when you have a dependency, right? When you have a dependency, let's say I have a car here. Let's say I have a car here. This is a car. When this car is having dependency of wheels, right? Let's say I have a wheel objects here or wheel classes. Four wheel classes or single wheel class. Consider here I have right side, front, right wheel, front left wheel, and rear right wheel, rear left wheel. I have four wheels, so these four wheels we need to link to the car. Two front side and two back side, so that I can able to drive this car. Consider all these are classes, and I need to inject front wheel object here, front right wheel dependency I have, front left wheel dependency I have, Same way, rare right wheel, rare left wheel dependency I have. If car is a bean and these all classes also has a beans, and if I have this beans dependency here, I can able to inject them. You know how to inject this object, and this I can able to inject here. Okay. If I do directly dependency injection this way, if I do directly dependency injection this way, this front right wheel into right wheel object, front left wheel into left wheel object, same rear right and rear right left wheel objects. Directly if I inject here, if this class name and this class name, and if this class name and if this class name are exactly same, you can call it as tightly coupled dependency injection. Dependency injection you are doing here, but it is tightly coupled dependency injection. If both class level reference class and injecting class both are same, then your dependency injection is tightly coupled dependency injection. Tightly coupled dependency injection. If you do this way, so tightly coupled dependency injection disadvantage is in future if you want to, let's say in general for my car right wheel got punctured or right wheel got damaged. I hit you know a divider, so my right wheel completely broken. My rim completely broken. Discs are broken. So now I wanted to discontinue because this right wheel is completely damaged. I want to discontinue this right wheel and I wanted to install new wheel. Okay, with a different class name. With a different class name. Front right wheel, front right wheel only, but old class was already there, right? So new I wanted to bring here. Just imagine new I wanted to bring here. So all brand new front rear wheel I want to bring here. Right wheel, front right wheel with the disc something with a new feature. Some disc also added. So with the new feature, one more wheel I brought, and the old wheel I need to remove, and now I need to fit this. Now class name completely it is changed. Front right disc wheel. Now are you able to pass this FRD class directly into FR? One object into another class, are we able to pass? No. Means if I try to install a new wheel, your car will not support. It will say no, I will accept only that broken wheel only. So is it possible to drive this car with broken wheel? No, not possible. So now, is this car design is good? If this car is designed in such a way, no, nobody will use this car. Not even a single piece they can buy. Customers they cannot buy this car because your car design is tightly coupled design. Like you fixed all the wheels in a tightly coupled manner, like doing welding and all without nuts and bolts. So if one wheel got damaged, complete car is for no use. Instead of this, in oops concept, yeah, yeah. Hmm, hmm. So if both class level reference here, this class level reference, okay, and injecting class, whatever class you are injecting, okay, this both are same. If both are same, then your dependency injection is tightly coupled dependency injection. Practically, that is what I'm saying. So why tightly coupled? Because in future, if I don't want to continue with this class, I wanted to change it. I wanted to change it. Still, it will not allow because your class level variable reference also same. So in two places you need to do the edit. Not only not only changing your class here and changing it in XML file, you need to go to car and change car configuration also. Here also you need to change. If I take a new wheel here, if I take a new wheel here, right, disk wheel. So same class name again I need to change here. Correct? Can I pass otherwise this object here? No. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Yes. So when I use the same class references here, the problem is in future if you want to change these classes, this one or the first one, anything, if you wanted to change, I mean if you want to remove it completely, I want to delete from my library and I want to add new class as part of this all new, brand new class I wanted to put here. So you can remove this class and put brand new class here, but in this code also you hard coded this class name here, same class name you hard coded. So whenever you remove right this class from here, immediately this code will show some errors here, compilation errors. It will say this class is not found in your library. So again you need to edit this class and you need to remove these references also. Like if you take a CDMA phone and GSM phone, do you guys remember we used to get CDMA phones in the beginning of phones era, mobile phones, SIM card. Hmm. Yes. Reliance used to sell Reliance and yeah, those days mostly Reliance and BSNL, right? So they used to sell their CDMA phones. So we need to continue with that same number. If you want to change the network, not possible. You need to throw completely phone away, right? But if you go with this GSM, nowadays what we are doing, we are inserting multiple SIMs, and if you are not interested with that network, we are removing SIM from the container and we are throwing it away, right? So that flexibility you need to provide to your application. CDMA application is like tightly coupled application. So your phone and SIM both are tightly coupled. Whereas in GSM, phone and SIM are not tightly coupled. They will provide a slot. Into that slot, you can pass any SIM. Same way for car, I wanted to give the example here. Or else if this is complicated, let me give that example. I have a CDMA phone and GSM. See the difference between both the phones. So CDMA phone, if I take Reliance as an example, right? Reliance designed CDMA phones beginning 2000s, right? So in that CDMA phones, they used to put hard-coded chip or some chip they used to put. I don't know, even we didn't open and see, right? So some SIM card with required dimensions. We don't know their dimension also. Maybe their SIM card dimension is like this. We don't know. No? So they used to insert their SIM card like this, and they used to put battery everything, and they will pack it. Nobody can see the SIM card, and they will assign one number to that complete phone. Let's say they assign number 9193. They used to start 93 and something number they provide. And until this phone dies, you need to use the same number. You can't do any changes on this phone. So if you choose a different network, Idea, Airtel, it won't allow. Until this phone die, use this. What that means is today if Reliance is charging for month if they are charging 100 rupees, from next month if they increase that bill to from 100 rupees to 300 rupees, what as a customer you need to do? Do you have any other option? Either you need to throw this phone away or you need to pay 300 rupees. Such a way they designed it. As a customer, you will see problems going forward if you go with this phone. But when you go with GSM phones like Apple, iPhone, or so many phones we have nowadays, right? Moto, Samsung, all these are GSM phones. So in these phones, they used to provide one interface. We call it as SIM slot, right? And this interface will be designed with the standard, universal standards they used to follow. Everybody, whoever is building a phone, right? They need to provide SIM interface here. SIM interface means the SIM slot. They need to provide SIM slot here with the same size, micro or nano. There will be two sizes, right? They need to provide micro and nano standards. Everybody used to follow the standards. We don't know, they don't have any. I mean, they do have any standard organization to do that design. Maybe they might have. Like for us, like www used to provide some standards, right? So since standards, maybe there would be some organization giving that standards. Standards of what? SIM sizes. Your SIM card sizes. Some organization must be forcing everyone to implement. Must be some organization giving some standards. SIM sizes they might be saying like nano size and micro sizes. They must be recommending to implement both the sizes in their SIM interface. So any phone you wanted to start nowadays, Reliance also now started their GSM phones, and they are following this organization standards. Everybody following. Go and buy any phone. In that phone, you should able to inject your SIM card. How? Because everybody following the same standards like your ESB. Many clients or many people are building USB devices, right? SanDisk and many other providers are providing it, and many laptops also, TVs also having USB sockets. So in that USB socket we should able to insert this USBs. Anybody can build the USB and anybody can have USB sockets. Everybody should follow the same sizes, same standards, so that I can able to comfortably remove one device and I can able to insert new device. For hardware side, if you see this much flexibility as a hardware if they are providing, what about your softwares? Software also should have the same flexibility, right? When you design your software, when you design your software, same question if I ask, if you do tightly coupled code, you are a developer and you are writing code here, controller, model, DAOs, and initially I given database Arkill. Consider Arkill like charging now. For database they are charging for 1 year 1 million rupees. From next year onwards, for 2023 they charged 1 million. From 2023 they say, if they say 1.5 million you should pay. Do I need to agree with it, or should I discontinue with that? If your application is having if your application is having flexibility to change database, you can change easily. But if your application is not designed in such a way, you should continue, right? Like if your DAOs are hard coded, you have thousands of DAOs that you implemented by hard coding this database URL, username, passwords, or any objects, connection pool objects, whatever you injected here. If they are hard coded, in future if you want to change from Arkill to some other database, let's say MySQL, if MySQL came into the picture and if it say you need not to pay single rupee, go with MySQL. Your code should comfortable to use this database as well. In such a way, your code should be designed. right? Comparison with hardware devices, how they are, making comfortable to remove old and add new things, right? Similar way, your code also, whenever you feel that your service code is outdated, and if you want to go with new logics or new integrations, if you want to change it flexibly, you should able to remove and add new layers. Flexibly, you should able to remove your old DAO and add new DAOs with by connecting with new databases. Same way services. All your layers should be flexible enough to do the changes. If I remove one layer, another layer should not say, no, don't remove that layer. I have tightly coupled relation. Like how GSM phones designed, right? In a similar way, you need to design your complete layers, your controller, service, DAOs. So the benefit is consider consider SIM is like a DAO, SIM card is like a DAO. Okay, here I have one SIM card, Airtel. If you consider this is like a DAO as per your architecture, and if your phone is like a service, if your phone is like a service, alright. Today I'm using this DAO. Today I'm using this Airtel DAO, and I thought they are charging more, and I wanted to shift to Geo, Geo DAO. Your service should flexible enough to accept this. So if I want to discontinue it, I should able to remove this SIM and I should able to add new SIM. Similar way, your application architecture also should have the same thing. While doing dependency injection, if you hard code 8tel SIM interface only, 8tel SIM only here, 8tel object only you can able to inject. But if you design in such a way that any object you can able to pass into your service, getting right what I'm trying to convey here. Am I audible? Yeah, yeah. So same way, if you want same thing, if you want to achieve in application development, similar way you need to design your code also. Instead of keeping same hard coded, whatever dependency object you are injecting here, instead of having the same object here, you should have something a interface here which is flexible enough to inject any, like right wheel. Earlier I was using something Apollo wheel, now I wanted to shift to some other, like instead of using Apollo, some CRT, different types, right? MRF, and for my car something other I installed. Yeah, earlier I used to have MRF types, now I changed it. Now I'm using not Apollo, some different types I'm using. My car is flexible to, my rims are flexible to accept new types. So in such a way rims are designed. Okay. So earlier if this wheel size is 16 and if new wheel size is 15, it will not accept. So whatever rim sizes all cars are having here, same standards every tire partner will follow, and they will design so that you should able to use that tires to install it to your car. Similar way SIM cards also, whoever designing SIMs to your phones, they should follow same SIM sizes and they should design their SIM cards. Otherwise, you can't able to insert their SIM card. Let's say you have a plan to build a SIM network and you build a lot of network by investing one lakh crore rupees, and finally you design your SIM card by not following these rules. You design your SIM card in a different size with different dimensions. Nobody will use it. Nobody will use it. All your investment go zero. So you need to follow these standards. So during application development also we need to follow some standards. Which standards you need to follow? This runtime polymorphism. As per runtime polymorphism, you can have this similar concept. You can design a similar way. You can have a interface here. Into that interface, you can inject any implementation. In simple words, you can have an interface reference in your class, and you can inject anything. Let's say now here I have a mobile phone, iPhone. Into this iPhone, I wanted to inject a SIM card. So here I have a, consider this is a class, okay, and I have a class here, class geo. If I configure this geo class reference directly into this iPhone, which means hard coding, which means hard coding. If I do dependency injection of this geo, tomorrow if I want to remove this geo and if I want to add Airtel, iPhone will not accept it. So now instead of having geo here, is there any other way I can able to inject? Yes. While before designing, geo sim also, you need to give standards. Okay, sim standards. You need to have interface sim. All your standards you need to put here. What is the sim size? And configuration. Everything standards you need to provide here, and they need to implement the same thing. Interface can have abstract methods, right? Now I have an interface here, call support, internet support, whatever standards sim required, all that standards you know as part of sim standards you need to provide. And now you can have sim dependency here. Sim dependency you can have here. Sim is an interface, it will not function without any implementation. Now implementation partners can implement it. Geo can implement it, a class Geo implement sim, class Geo implement sim, and here they need to implement all methods. Implement all methods. So can you able to pass this Geo class object into, can you able to pass this Geo class object into this object into the sim reference? Is it possible or not? As per Java, child objects we can pass it into parent references. Geo is a child for which parent? Sim parent. So I can able to inject this geo object into sim. It is possible. So now in future, I thought that this geo is not good enough for me. I wanted to shift with Airtel. Okay, you implement Airtel. Class Airtel again implements sim. Again, everybody should follow the same standards. Maybe their caste, these change. They might change. Implement all methods here. Now, can I remove this from here? Can I remove this connection here? And can I pass Airtel instead of Geo? Is it possible? Yes, confidently we can say yes. So now my phone is flexible to accept any object. Any means any sim implemented objects. This class or this class or any other feature class, right? They all should implement from sim. So always you need to do your system design also in a similar way. While configuring dependencies here, put interface dependencies and inject implementation objects. So what the benefit it will give tomorrow, I mean today you might be having one sim only. Tomorrow if you want to shift to another sim, it is easy to you. You need not to disturb your phone. Your phone will remain same. Just you remove this class from configuration and add new class. Since you add a new class, all the phone behavior will be same via new sim. Your calling, internet, everything will be remaining same, but via new network. Same thing if you apply to your real-time application. Today, if you are using one database here, Arcil, one database class, Arcil DAO. So Arcil is charging more and I wanted to shift to MongoDB or MySQL DB. So you should be able to change it. But your DAO implementations, right, should be there derived from one DAO interface. So that you can have one DAO interface here and you can inject Arcil implemented DAO or MySQL implemented DAO, or tomorrow if you wanted to shift to one more database, new database, you should be able to shift to it easily. All will agree with it. I'm hearing only one. Remaining all, you already know this or confusion. You must aware, right? Parent and child. Yeah, this looks might as simple. This might look simple, but lot of flexibility it will provide to your application. So in such a way, you need to design your application while you are designing. Some people will say why you are unnecessarily creating interface and implementations. Don't listen to them. They don't know the SOAPs concept, so that's why they say don't provide interface implementation model. As you know this runtime polymorphism very well, and you know the flexibility of interface and implementation dependency injection, you follow this pattern. If others not following, leave them. If they don't know these concepts, they may not, they may not follow. But if you know, you follow it. For the complete dependency injections, right? You follow interface implementation models. So I'll give the same example here. Runtime polymorphism. That's a simple core Java example only. Okay. Here first I'll be writing one sim interface. Let's make it interface. I'll put only two methods. Okay. Public void call or three methods. SMS public void connected to internet. When I enable call, we should able to call it via sim only, right? Your phone is not having that capability. Your sim will enable to call, SMS and connect to internet. Now I have a phone here, iPhone. Now in my iPhone I have sim dependency. In my iPhone I have sim dependency. Okay, into the sim I should able to pass, and here I have methods. Okay, public void call to some number, public void send SMS, browse. So I can able to call using sim, right? You can call method, but there is no implementation. Okay, sim dot to send SMS, there is SMS method, and sim dot connected to internet. All these methods are available, but no implementation. Now you need to provide implementation, right? For sim I am providing geo implementation. Geo implements sim. So what you need to do, you need to provide all the unimplemented methods. Add unimplemented methods. Call, calling, sending SMS, connected to internet, something 4G. Now if somebody wants to execute methods, iPhone new iPhone, I dot call to number, I dot send SMS, I dot browse. As of now, your sim is not having any object reference, so you need to assign an object. Let's have a set method here. Set sim. Via the sim method, I will pass one sim object here. So along with iPhone, I'll create the Zio object here. Zio J, new Zio, I dot set sim. I'll pass Geo object here. So now you can able to execute it. Without this 25 and 26, this code will not function. Okay. Yeah, to pass the data, exactly. You can use constructor or setter. So that's up to you. Now you can, if you see calling, sending SMS, connecting to 4G network. Your phone is perfectly working. So tomorrow you don't want Zio, you wanted to shift to another network. Yeah, flexibly you can shift. If there is another network provider available in India, you can. Let's say Airtel came into the picture. So they also need to follow same TROI standards, right? Telephone Regular Authority will give some standards and they should follow same standards. Same 100% they should follow. Otherwise they don't give license. If you consider the SIM is like TROI rules, they should follow same rules. Connecting to 5G. Now if you want to change it, you can change it. Instead of having Geo here, let me comment these two lines and you can have, see below code you are not changing, just changing the SIM code on, remaining everything remaining same, just changing your SIM. Now I passed Airtel, still your call, SMS, browse will not disturb. Same thing will function now. Calling, sending SMS connected to 5G. But from which deep SIM? Airtel SIM. See, we given standards, same standards they followed, and we are using the same SIM reference only here. iPhone is having SIM slot only, and you are passing into the SIM slot either Jio or Airtel or any other provider. You got that flexibility here. Same thing, whatever we are doing manually here, right? Same thing we are doing via dependency injection, correct? This injection, we are creating object and injecting, right? It will accept. If it is accepting in core Java, it will accept in Spring. It will accept anywhere. So same example, same code, independence injection, right? Let's try. Some might feeling that small concept only why he's making so much scene. Is it? But this is very very important. Small concept only, but application wise it will add so much great flexibility. If you don't follow this, you will not have that flexibility. Okay. So now the same example. Let me pick here, and instead of hard coding, what I will do, I will do this object creation stuff completely from IOC container. Okay. So create XML file. resources created XML file, and let me configure all that classes here. Bean id I class name beans.id. Okay. Now iPhone is having dependency. Via setter we have dependency, right? Set sim property call set sim method here. Sim smaller or capital, no issues. Okay, it will call your setter method only. Into this set sim, you need to pass sim reference of sim object. Sim is an interface. Interface we can't have any object for interface, but implementation objects we can have. Geo object or Intel object. So what I can do here, bean id geo class beans dot geo. I can pass this geo reference. Yeah. Ah, correct. Here, this is what, right? Zero j equal to new zero. Internally, this is what happens, right? But only one time object only. Only one time it will create, not many times. One object only it will create. It will make sure it will create one object only. So it will create geo object here. It will create Airtel object here. Tag, right? This is a tag. This is a tag. Inside XML tag, we are configuring it. Beans is our package name and this is class name. Now this object, right? Either geo object, Airtel object, you can pass here. So something you are calling, right? In this statement, you are creating iPhone object, iPhone I equal to new iPhone. If you compare with your core Java code, and you are calling setter method here. Here you are calling setter method. I dot set sim you are calling. Into that set sim you are trying to pass in geo reference. Yeah, whatever it is. This J reference or A reference. You can pass anything. It should function because here you have its parent reference. Geo Airtel for all parent is sim. So into parent reference you can inject anything. Now run it. Application context AP equal to new class path XML application context. Resources slash test dot XML. Now get your phone object. AP dot get bean of iPhone dot class. So this code executing with GeoSIM now. You can see 4G using. And if I go with Airtel reference here, and again if you run, small change, right? In XML, just you need what happened? Reference. Okay, reference name is not correct. Yeah, yeah. Now see, earlier it was executed with 4G Geo, now 5G Airtel it is using. How flexible your phone is now, or how flexible your class is now. If you consider your class as a service class, This is my service class. My service class is flexible with any database now. If you consider this as a service class, or let's say this is banking application, this is the customer, all the banking class. Banking, here you are doing all the fund transfers, adding accounts, deleting accounts, all the banking operations you are doing here for your bank. Earlier you are using, consider this database Oracle DAO, if you consider. So you have Oracle particular code here, and if they are charging every month like 10 lakh INR rupees. Now you thought you wanted to change it. Now if I shift it to something MySQL, consider this is like a MySQL DAO. Now they are charging 0 rupees. Definitely they will shift to it. If it is a small scale business or something, if cost, if you are reducing, right? Obviously they will think of it. So that flexibility you have now here. Either your service code can able to accept Oracle DAO or MySQL DAO, any DAO it will accept, because your DAOs are designed in such a way. Your DAOs are designed using DAO interface. Imagine such a way. Okay, we will see real examples also. I'll be showing you. Okay, but realization is important. You can apply the same to you know any layers, right? Any between two layers. That is important. Okay. So if you guys concluded with this concept, we'll close for today. Okay, tomorrow I'll start auto wiring. Okay, I thought of covering this before auto wiring. Yeah, I hope you all get it right. You practice these two examples and try to apply this for you know something else and realize it. Okay, I'll be sharing these two examples with you. Along with this video, I will attach these two examples. Okay, download and practice it.